Ricky, it's a bad time to spin and die. Enemy territory at night time. Probably not the best. Hey everyone, welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. In the last episode, we took our first intrepid steps into as a valley 1 year after Dunban lost his arm with the Monado. However, though, in this episode, we are going to be trekking on through Sword Valley even more so. And what I'm going to say now is if you don't want to fight and just want to have collectibles on top of collectibles, there are these higher paths that you can take should you wish to avoid some fights. I say some because you're not going to be able to dodge every single fight, because guess what? You've got to have more and more of these fights coming up. But you can avoid them by going to some routes. However, this is what I was referring to. We have not only bases with enemies in them, the last one was simply there to draw you in, but we also have unique monsters here. And trust me, they're middling. All I know is they're definitely autonomous. But just to cut things short with Mechon, they are sometimes the same regarding attacks, so I will say I have some defense for Topple because their attack called Sideswipe, which is a lot of what the M63s can have, and as well as cut attacks.
And I think the numbers in the Mecon's name mean something too. It's like last episode you fought a M100 and he was massive, and then you've got tiny little M20s. So the bigger the number, the bigger the Mechon.
Do you feel like it's how many EVA points it took to make them?
Maybe.
I wouldn't, because I would not doubt if that fortress unit took like a mountain. If you thought it'd be easy, guess what? It's not gonna be. You saw how hard that Mechon hit. Luckily though, we're fine right now. And this is what can get you.
Scouts.
M64 covert killer. It doesn't kill you outright, but it can get you killed in some ways. But these things are very easy to take out. They're just simply a minute thing. Single shot is pretty much all they have. Any M63 Android units, like I said before, their sideswipe attack is pretty much the biggest issue they have. Let's talk to the big daddy, prudent person.
That's not a person, that's a Mechon.
But what if it's a person inside of it? Then it would be a person. They prudent if you couldn't tell. Say roughly the same attacks, except with a few additions. Deadshot 4, AoE strikes that can knock you back a little bit. Nothing that you can't handle, especially when it's Dunban. You have enough coverage, you're fine. Dunban muffled, but it's alright.
I heard him clearly.
The joys of stereo audio as he strikes down that prudent person. Another thing to take note when you're facing Mechon, if you want to be cheap and you want to be a terrible person, one of the ways in which you can affinity grind is simply be shulk and let everyone miss and get deflected, and then they feel down, and then you can cheer them up.
I got a vision for Dunban dodging, yay!
I got a vision of Dunban looking cool. I mean, let's face it, I wouldn't mind that. But it's kind of pointless because I have one already. It's called Valak Mountain. That thing was badass. I need to be even stronger as I level up.
I need to be even stronger. Ah!
And this adds on to the reason why I said you should not get stuff from Dixon. Because you're going to fight more unique monsters on your way up through Sword Valley. And most of the time their drops, again, can be the exact same thing that Dixon sells. So there's literally no point in giving him money.
Yeah.
He came up, he came, he showed, he had a chat, then left. Tried to make a little money on the side. Well, good sir, we are not putting up with your shaggy this time. Dude, man, I can't get over how good Sword Valley looks. Even right down to like the subtle mist, the mist and lighting rays.
The haze.
Yeah. It creates like a dust plane thing, and this was an old battlefield, and it's about to be revived into another battlefield, because here we are at the 4th gate, ready for battle. I could go on and on, but I don't think you guys would want me to say things in this voice, so over and over again. Dunban, did you somehow get trapped behind the gate post? Like, not even the gate, you literally got stuck behind the latch to a gate. You got stuck behind the handle. How does someone get how does someone get stuck behind the doorknob? I'm sure someone's done it, but I'd rather not think about it right now. Thank you very much.
Maybe that happens to Dunban sometimes. His cape just gets hooked around the doorknob.
Oh my god. I mean, with it being Dunban, like maybe he's getting PTSD. I don't know. I can extrapolate all I want, but hey, let's not extrapolate. Let's go for a new enemy type. Offensive Mechon Plus. We're out of the numbers and just simply into plus marks now. I was gonna say we're out of number math, but we're still in math because it's plus. To cut that crap joke short, in brief, this guy focuses on attacks. If I could come up with an equivalent, these are pretty much like flying Chromars. They differ in what they specialize in. Sometimes attack, sometimes in defense, and sometimes you can get an in-between. What you can do though is get in between this fortress unit and just dodge it outright. Like I said, if you don't like these guys, and trust me, I don't blame you one little bit, you can dodge them. If Shulk would just learn to just ignore gravity. Come on, Shulk. It's a JRPG, you've made incredible feats before.
Makes me wonder how gravity works on the balance in Mechon.
It just all revolves around his pelvis? I don't know. Either way though, you've got an onslaught of enemies right by you, so if you want to engage and pick up stuff, then I would recommend the stuff. Unfortunately, this stuff on the 3rd gate cannot be gotten quite yet, but just keep that in mind, because there are some gates in which hold horrors.
Yeah.
And terrible things that will make you cry, make you smash your controller, or break some of the joysticks. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm not glancing over to a broken controller right now. No, I'm not. Not at all. And certainly not one that I broke from this exact moment. What I am loving though is this visual right here. Dude. I know that's deadly, but I can't help but think of like the hot tub scene from Xenoblade 2. Just the steam coming from it, and just the illuminate lighting.
It being more ordained, which is a lot like this, doesn't shock me.
Yeah, it honestly wouldn't shock me if they're using some textures or some up-res material from that. But speaking of bringing things back from the past, we fought this guy all the way back in the Bionis leg to save Juju.
He helped us unlock speed.
And I love it when games do this, because it shows things have got serious. This was once a boss. It's now just a common enemy now, like it's no big thing. Its name may have changed, but its attacks are pretty much the same. And little enemies, they can act as targets on their own, or you could take on the whole unit in itself and take it out that way. And it digs from the ground, but hey, it's been done and dusted. You chop them down and all fall in one go. And even if you don't get rare drops, you are gonna want those cylinders, because unlike monster drops in the Bionis, these can be readily used for crafting, and more often than not, they're gonna be at a better quality. And the unique monsters will not stop coming. Here we have Defective iPos. I would like to think that's like a play on iPods, but who am I to say? Despite him being defective, he seems to be very, very good at his job on killing us, but you know, I'll leave it at that. This isn't much different to the Mechon who we fought before. He still has side swing. He still has hard attack. It's just these guys act in a bigger group mentality.
I'm not used to Eater being there. I muscle memory to try to go to speed.
Yeah, because we haven't actually used Eater at all, have we?
No.
And I might as well say it now, because I don't think I'll have a better chance at saying it. Regarding the Monado arts that you can use, I think Eater's probably the worst.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain. We haven't used it in a bit because we really haven't had much opportunity to use it. So let me just remind people how Eater works, and pretty much explain how this fight's gonna go right now. Eater is based on like, and then he wants to buff itself up. Well, Eater can mitigate that, cause bleed, and do more damage. However, there are many other moves that don't require the Monado to make the same mistake happen. If you want debuffs removed, that's what Dunban can do. If you want buffs to end, that's what Ricky's behave is. You want to cause bleed. Who do you want? Do you want Dunban to cause bleeding? Do you want Ricky to cause bleeding? And there's going to be more attacks which do the exact same thing. It's just, for me, Eater is just an extra step in which you need to. And Eater takes up a lot of the Monado.
Yeah, I think almost all of it.
Yeah, whereas Shield, Speed, and Purge, they don't take all of it.
I think Buster's the only one that takes all of it.
You are correct. You are correct. I just feel like it's a needless step that a lot of other characters can do a lot better. And plus, in an area like this, you're going to be focused more on enchant if you wish to go that method. And here's why I think a damning reason to why it's a terrible art. Let's take Purge as a comparison piece. When we first got Purge, we had to use immediately in order to make it through that fight. It was trial by fire. It was adapt, use this new art, or you die. And then it introduced spike damage.
Yeah.
And it said, hey, guess what? You know that new thing that you got? Well, here's many, and I mean many opportunities to use it, utilize it, and get used to it. Eater? It's optional, but here's what I really don't get about Eater. When we got Eater, it was after, I repeat, after we killed an enemy that buffed himself up and gave himself craze.
Yeah.
That would have been a perfect time to learn Eater. Plus, we haven't ran into a lot of enemies since we got Eater that would really utilize it. Off the top of my head, I can think of one enemy type from Eater to now, and that's the slaughter bosses at the end of Valak Mountain.
And then there's some times where you don't know if it's a buff or an aura, so you won't know if you have to use Purge or Eater.
And that's a defining thing as well. The game, I feel like, it doesn't define it enough. But either way, though, even with the example that I gave, like you could use it on a slug boss, it buffs itself up at the very end, and most of the time you're not gonna finish a fight in like the first 10 seconds where Eater would take effect. So Eater, I feel like it's not a bad art, I just feel like its setup and its usage is very limited. It's not explained well, and there's little opportunities to use it, and even less opportunities to really get used to it and master it. And keep in mind, we will let you guys know when it's beneficial to use it, but it's so few and far in between compared to the other arts.
And the other characters have it already covered with their own art.
But that's going to go into a topic for another time, which, oh trust me, you'll know it when you see it. Either way, we do have like a gauntlet of fights here. Make it as you wish. If you want to attack, you can. If you want to go around the side skirts and dodge them, or if you want to go overhead, you're more than welcome to. However, I would recommend at the very end of the Sword Valley, be at least level 52. You know, one to be outdone. He's fun to be cuddled by Dun Dun. Of which Dunban will immediately say no. Because Dunban is not cute. Even though I'm sure some female viewers will say I'm wrong. What are you talking about, Lightning? He's my cute husbando for life. If they ever made a life-size plush of Dunban, I'd buy 100 of them. And then he'd be my husband for real life. And they would make awkward conversations with their real boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't get one.
I wouldn't get one.
Thank you.
Oh, I would for the novelty, but not for anything like that.
Oh dear. Oh dear, here's where it starts.
What?
Here's where it starts.
Don't we have a Xenoblade collection going on?
Yeah.
I don't want to add to it, obviously.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh boy.
But I think a Dunban plush would look weird. I'd rather have a knock-on plush.
I think a lot of people will be saying that. Monolith, why? Why do you hate money? Why do you hate? Well, I can't say anything. Xenoblade at the time of recording has already gone over a million copies sold.
Really?
Yeah, thank God for that. I hope Xenoblade gets Game of the Year, or at least RPG of the Year. It needs to. The amount of improvements it's done, the amount of audience it's gained, it needs to. Xenoblade 2 got snuffed. But that's a conversation for another time. Let's just face Mechon and go for it. You just saved Ricky, you did. Even though Ricky nearly died. At the very end of the corner, we get another unique monster, Benevolent Aim. Despite his name, he does not focus mostly on ether shots or even a gun. He just uses his scissor hands. On that though, we got a new location in the Monado Wound. So, what the Mechon gave, we gave back, I suppose. This guy is all melee, if you couldn't tell. Daddy Chainsaw has a chance at the bleed and just cause a lot of damage on you. And if you got enough coverage with yourself and Ricky with healing, you should be okay. I wish I could say more on this guy, but it's pretty much same as your the Mechon that we've seen thus far. And here's where a lot of people might say, well, you know, they're just reusing enemies. You mentioned that in Valak Mountain. And here's the reason why I don't mind it here. Because where are we?
Sword Valley.
Yeah. That's something that you need to worry about. His chainsaw can hit you hard and launch you. But no. The reason why this in particular doesn't bother me is because we're in Mechonis, the home of Mechon robots, in which are mass produced. You're gonna get things like this in real life. I'd say if I could compare this to real life. but you get my point. It's a production line where nothing is unique almost, dare I say.
Yeah.
Despite, you know, the fight we're in here. So I feel like if you have a narrative reason as to why it's like this, I think you're okay. And also, yes, this guy does have a tumble spike. It's quite a hefty one too. Look at that, 1130. I put Dumban down really hard. I like how you healed up and he just barely got out of your way. But you got to shield up just in time and you should be all good. That fight swayed back and forth. It was in your favor, then his, then back to you, then back to his, and back to you. It's like an Old Spice commercial. The tension is on you. Now back to me. Now, and back to you. Now back to me. Look at this nut on, and then back to me. And so on and so forth. But, you know, I'm not going to get a tangent on weird early 2000 commercials. Or adverts. Or anything of the sort. I'm just going to admire the Monado Wound. Yes, this titchy sword on our back made this big crater.
And made Shulk break his leg.
Shulk, you could at least be dignified in what your sword's done. At least. Nope, he's gonna do jitter. She's stuck in a hole. Egil is watching this somewhere through a camera going, to the Monado. Why is he stuck in a hole?
This is my enemy.
Faces, can you please just give him a hand? Christ almighty. But yeah, this is a gauntlet, but I love it.
Yeah.
Sword Valley is a visual spectacle. Much improved from its first iteration. I think the only thing that I may say may not fit completely is that Sword Valley is like the enemy base, but yet we're having like a serene and peaceful song to it. I would expect it to be more dark and dirty and more like sneaking or dangerous at every turn. But that's just me. I still love the song though. Abso-freaking-lutely.
I wouldn't mind if they played the prologue songs during this.
Yeah. Or at least when you get to certain areas.
Maybe make the prologue songs for the unique monsters.
Yeah, because didn't they have an unused version of the prologue? Or am I thinking of a different song?
I'm not sure.
Because there's a prologue A and a prologue B, isn't there?
Yeah.
I can't remember if both got used or not.
They both did.
Okay, then never mind then. But it would have been nice if they like switched it up. But I don't know. Not to take out a melee unit. Sorry, I'm more of a brawl person myself. I gotta be said. Or maybe just an ultimate person, but we're not there yet.
And nobody talks about Thor.
No one does. You could say Smash 4 got the shaft. A crappy joke from me. As we buff up the Shulk Boy in various ways for big defense. So that's something you're gonna need guys. Going forward, there's 3 things that I can, well 4 that I would probably prioritize. Bleed, Poison, Topple, and Blaze. Be careful for Blaze, because if you couldn't tell by all our prep, we are preparing for war. Not because we're in Sword Valley. But I digress. Also, did Charlotte learn Drive Boost?
And Melia learned Reflection.
And she also learned Summon Earth.
Yeah.
So Charlotte with Drive, you see that. Melia, however, Summon Earth, think Lurgy, but just AoE. Reflection, it doesn't last long, but if you have a chance, it can reflect attack back at the enemy and save you from damage and cause them all the hurt. This can be very useful if used very correctly and at the right timing, and can sometimes outright break fights. You think Dumbman's Thunder is good at breaking fights? Melia can just take a buffed up enemy and just swat it back.
Yeah. I don't think it reflects talent arts though, unfortunately.
It does not, and trust me, you're gonna wish it did at times. But I have nothing much to say except an onslaught of enemies, but the only thing that you're gonna get is experience and a boatload of loot.
It's a lot of Mechon, but it's worth it to fight all of them.
Oh yeah. And with that last chest got, I think guys, we are gonna leave things here. So, we've got one more step into Sword Valley, and it seems like we're at the epicenter of an ether pool. But we're not there yet. So, that's it guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, be sure to like it. If you don't like it, well then, you could take a dip in that pool. It's great. Trust me, it's like bathing in Sprite. Bathing in apple juice? Bathing in glow sticks. Very hot, liquidy glow sticks. Shulk's fine, he just tripped. like he always does. That point doesn't hurt you. This gone on long enough. If you want to subscribe to see more nonsense like this, then be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time, where hopefully we'll have a chance of finding a Fiora. See you next time, guys. If Shulk would stop yawning, most inappropriate. Dumb man agrees.
That's what I was gonna say.
Aha. We'll see you next time, guys.